Nice.
Well, it sure does feel good to help somebody, you know, and
The best.
yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, it's about the funnest thing job wise I've ever done. Are you
See
in
that person transform, because I saw her the next day and we were wondering, I wonder if this is going to help you with the problem you've had. You've not been, sleeping. And she had no problem sleeping at all Wednesday night, and I saw her Thursday. So yeah, she's just blown away.
how long was the sleeping problem going on for?
I'd say almost a week, because this person wanted to make contact with her, and that just brought on this anxiety that she just wasn't sleeping.
Yeah. Are you in the northern part of Australia?
Yeah, it's called Southeast Queensland. So the area that I'm in is Queensland, but the southeast portion.
Was Queensland in the north, or is that the southeast of Australia?
It's above halfway. So if you look on a map, Brisbane's probably the closest large city, but Tier's closer to Brisbane, and that is 4 hours away. I'm 4 hours north.
Oh, okay. All right.
But to get to far north Queensland, it's a lot further, Kansas, I don't know. I'd have to look up how many hours. It's a long way away.
Hey, Shelby, before we get started today, I just want to say, make sure that you follow up. I'm sure you will be, but ask your friend the questions. How's your energy? How's your overall mood? How's your focus? How's your sleep?
Yes, everything's improved. I asked her yesterday because she was doing some cleaning work for me, and that's why she's just blown away. Not only does she not feel the anxiety about this family member anymore, but she feels like this weight's been lifted off her chest, that she's breathing better. She's got her energy back. She's sleeping.
And how many days has it been?
I'd have to ask her. I think about a week, because I remember her telling me about this family member wanting to contact her, and I remember her freaking out. So it was probably about a week.
Great. Yeah, I mean, about that 7 to 10 day mark, so many things have changed in a person's life that it's so much fun to ask those questions. You might find for her that other relationships have changed as well. Possibly.
Yes, well, I was explaining to her, because we are planning on doing a few sessions on different subjects, how it can actually help her son as well, who's struggling with mental illness right now. If she can get rid of a lot of her stresses and anxieties, that can filter down to him too.
Yeah, absolutely. You change the culture of everyone you're around when you do one of these sessions. So sometimes automatically those things are better. Hey, Leah, I see you're here. Can you please share to the members community? I'm having a hard time getting that to happen. All right, everybody, let's get started. Just want to say a big shout out to our practitioners who are here. We've got Annette, who's in Princeton, New Jersey, level 2. Vijaya Nair. Hi, Vijaya. If you're a practitioner, Shelby is in Queensland, Australia. Who else is here tonight? I can't see everyone. If you're a prac, please put your information in the chat and let everybody know that you're here. So we want to start out tonight. We're talking about, I don't know how to get myself on the screen.
You're highlighted.
Am I on the screen? Okay.
You're on the screen.
Tonight we're talking about your New Year's resolution. So would you guys put in the chat, did you make a New Year's resolution? Just a thumbs up or a yes. You can say what it was. Just, did you make a New Year's resolution? And be honest about it, you guys. Be honest. Did you make one? You know, it's funny because a lot of people in this group may not have, only because you can achieve your goals without doing that. Shelby, no, not this year. Annette, no. I love this, you guys. Do you have something? So if you made a New Year's resolution, nobody made one, Bill. They didn't do it.
Interesting. Interesting.
Is there something that you have in mind that you'd like to accomplish this year? So it's not a resolution, maybe not even a goal. Vic said he did to be more in the flow. Yeah. So Penelope said it never worked in the past, so she gave up. I'm with you, Penelope. I would forget that I was doing a resolution. Like a month would pass and be like, oh my God, I was going to do that thing for my resolution. All right. So do you have something in mind that you would like to accomplish for this year? Something maybe now that you have Cognomovement, you realize is within your reach. But what we're going to ask you to do tonight, we want you to kind of think about it a little bit as we get started and consider what do you want to do for this year, but be really brutally honest with yourself about how you feel about it. The thing is that Bill and I, if you have Cognomovement just basic training, you have the keys to the universe. You have the key to the life of your dreams. But only if you're actually willing to acknowledge that if it hasn't shown up, you still have some feelings about it. You're not at 100% neutral. We were talking about this ourselves the other day, right, Bill?
Yeah. It's always painful to admit, that you're not quite neutral about it. When you have a great feeling, and you're completely neutral, like it's okay. In a flash, the things will literally show up in the strangest ways. Or the situation will change. The neat thing, I think, that was kind of the thing we were reviewing when we were talking is that when we weren't neutral, we, as a Cognomovement team, right, we have goals and stuff, and there's then, a sidewinder comes in, some problem, and you're like, oh no, that's not going the way we want. And then immediately, you get an emotional response. You're not neutral about it. And one of the really fun things is that as a team getting together and say, okay, it's all of us, let's whatever the problem is inside of us, let's resolve it. And so we all will resolve. We actually get on a session and all do it at the same time. And the hysterical thing is that the situation will change within minutes. One of the stories went that there's a $1 billion company, and we had gotten news, that wasn't in our favor. And we were like, that don't make no sense. We don't like that. And then we were like, okay, well, let's get to work. Within, I don't know, it was half an hour or something like that. We ended up, after we did it, we got a phone call. The president of the company had changed the policy of the company. It just so happened it put us right back in a wonderful position. So it was very funny, that it works that way. And you might not think you're powerful enough to have things change, right? And that seem really big, But when there's, I guess, what I'll get into it in a few minutes about the dynamic of how does that work? How does that work energetically? Why does it work? And how can I get there? Right? Right. It didn't, I can understand how it works, but if I don't have a tool or a way to do it, then, so what? Right.
Yeah, it's really, really true. So let me set up tonight like I always do. Tonight, we're going to talk a little bit about how to get where you want to go. Like Bill said, we're going to talk about how to move it from that 3 to the third to the fourth, 3 to 4D. We're going to have a session, a mini Cognomovement session that hopefully by the end of this session, you'll be feeling like, oh, obviously, clearly that thing is happening to me right now. But I want to share with you guys, I think this is the first Cogno Hour of the year?
Yeah.
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 Welcome to 2023. Within the walls of Cognomovement, this is 5D in 23, hitting that fifth dimension in 2023. And Bill's going to talk a little bit about what that means. But I'll give you a little sneak preview. The higher your consciousness goes, the faster things manifest. And that doesn't just mean the good things. It means everything. And so how you feel, if you are feeling negatively about something, if you are feeling irritated about something, if you're resentful, that's what's going to happen in your life. You're just going to be a match faster and faster and faster. In fact, sometimes you might wish for those 3D days when it was slower. But it becomes all the more important that you can know how to change your energy, like with Cognomovement, very, very quickly, and that you can get it clean as fast as possible. We were talking to somebody yesterday who was talking about making change in his life by sitting in meditation for 6 hours. And he just sat in the problem. He made himself look at it. He forced himself. He did the work for 6 hours until that thing cleared. And that's a possibility when you're willing to hold yourself in it. I don't know about you, but I don't have 6 hours to sit in it. And Cognomovement clears that energy right now. You go through what happened to him in 6 hours was magnificently huge, beautiful. And there's a way to do that very, very, very quickly as well. So that's what we're here for. We're here to help you create that ability to hit that 5D and then keep your energy as neutral or better so that everything falls in line. Another little story I heard today was a guy who got some kind of weird news about his parents splitting up, and he's an adult and they're in their 60s, and nothing had happened yet. But it was in the process, and he couldn't understand why he felt sad and angry and frustrated. And then a half an hour later, he got the news. Well, we're interacting with each other all the time. He's related to those people. Those photons are being affected. So the other thing that happens as we move closer to that 5D is we start affecting everyone around us. And then we have to decide, is it going to be in a really a positive way? Or is it going to be that way where people are starting to feel funky because we do? Bill McKenna accuses me of that all the time. What's wrong, Liz Larson? Mind your own business, Bill McKenna. I can feel you. What's going on? And, it's almost always right. I got something going on and I got to clear it out. So we really affect each other. So, Bill, will you kind of head into that? Why? What's the mechanics? Why are we affecting each other?
Okay. So there's this natural quantum entanglement, right? That happens, right? That one particle affecting another at the quantum level. But if you're on this phone call, you probably are on the path, whether it's high speed, medium speed, or low speed, but you're making progress consciousness wise. So I like to define consciousness as the understanding that you've come to thus far in your life. That is your consciousness. That is your level of consciousness. So, most likely you might, pre-cogno movement, you might have had a level of understanding is I'm afraid and I have a lot of reasons to be afraid. And if you're not afraid, you're going to be the one who gets punked. So, or if you're not angry, you're not paying attention, or fill in the blank, whatever it might be. But these understandings, when we start to let go of the old understanding of fear, guilt, grief, shame, anger, and because you're processing this stuff and it's starting to leave, what happens is your understanding naturally is going to gravitate to optimism. You're going to feel courage. You're going to be more apt to forgive and let go. And with every stage, as you let go, what happens is you get closer to a state of love, and then unconditional love and joy. And when that happens, you become closer to the nature of the other living things on the planet Earth. So you naturally begin to feel how many of you have woke up in the morning and it's like, oh my God, I'm scared and I don't know why, or I'm just mad. I look at my life. I didn't talk to anybody and I'm fine, but I'm mad, right?
That's called waking up salty, Bill.
Yeah, or afraid or whatever, right? Yeah. So what this is our we're getting closer to that oneness, right? And we're starting to feel the person next door or 3 doors down. So this is a natural thing that happens. Now there's some tricks to manage that. And if anybody is suffering with that, just put in the chat that you've been suffering with that, and I'll give you a trick about how to better manage that. If you find that to be the case. So one of the things that we were going to talk about today is different things that happen as you change your understanding or like elevate your level of consciousness, which just means new understanding, letting go of the old and then taking on these new understandings, which happen quite naturally, by the way. And anxiety about money. Okay. All right. Yeah. Mara. So I will show you that technique to help you with that. Oh, when your son's in your backyard. Okay. So what happens is, as you do your Cogno movement sessions, and what happens is, has anybody seen that movie Limitless? Put in the chat if you saw the movie Limitless. That one who took that pill and then he became limitless, as mentally okay. Many people. Yeah, it's kind of cool, right? Well, does everybody remember the very first thing that happened when he took the pill? he went home and he started cleaning his house. You remember that? He took the pill, and that was the very first thing that happened. That is exactly the same thing that happens when people begin to do Cognomovement. And they, especially if they go to a seminar, one of the workshops. And here's why. That was, the fact that that was in the movie was kind of amusing, because it's exactly what happens when you raise up your level of understanding. The very first thing is you become aware that there's a problem. Oh, there's dirty dishes and all my clothes are dirty. Not only are you aware of it, but you have the physical energy to do something like it. Your depression begins to lift. And there's levels of depression, right? Where you're like really depressed, or, or just kind of like, I'm in a fog, I'm in a haze, right? Well, the haze lifts. That haze lifts, and you can actually take action, and okay, yeah, this goes with that. You start paying your bills, you start organizing the paper, throwing stuff away. Go ahead.
You remember the gal Bill that she had 20 years worth of paperwork in her closet, 20 years worth of files in her closet that she would walk by every day and she couldn't figure out what to do with them. She just couldn't organize her thoughts, and she didn't have the energy. And she was part of a kind of a study that we were doing, I think, at the time. And that was the thing when we did our follow-up questions. She had gone in super easily and just reorganized that closet. She knew exactly what to do with those files. And it took a really short period of time. The organization of the mind and the energy that you're talking about is so real. I had a woman, she was in her 70s. She said, "Oh no, I don't think there's more energy." And so I asked her, have you organized anything in your house? Have you moved things around? "Oh yeah, I moved all the furniture in my house and painted it myself."
Yeah, right. So that was just awesome. Go ahead, Liz.
Well, I was just going to say, and this is how this relates back to what do you want to get done this year, and how you're going to do it. That organization of the mind and then the actual energy to do it are the two components you got to have just at a base level, right?
Exactly. So how does it all work? At the very base level, right? A couple of things start to happen. There's the neurological, the dendrites in the brain start to connect. You're connecting different parts of the brain, right? So it's like a jump in IQ, right? Mental acuity. And then because the things that were traumas or whatever, they get cleared out, the energy starts to flow. And it's as natural as breathing. Now that's the very first kind of level. We're talking about just the third dimensional stuff. So when I say third dimension, we define it as when you're living with what I would call unwanted feelings, negative feelings, shame, guilt, grief, humiliation, anger, fear, resentment, blame. You're craving, meaning if I just buy this or get that, I want this, I want that, right? You're filled with a lot of that. Or I don't like this and I don't like that. I got some real strong opinions. I see everything in judgment, right? Right and wrong. Oh, that political party, well, we'd be okay if they weren't around. Those people over there, not so much. We're over here, we're right, we're great. So those things, there's much, much more to it But if you find yourself kind of in that, what's going to happen is your manifesting becomes sluggish, meaning getting stuff done happens through a force of will. Like I have to force it, right? And it happens slowly, right? Once we have let go and process those traumas that are keeping us down there, what happens is time seems to speed up. When you're in a state of being neutral or forgiving, or you feel very optimistic and positive, and you're willing to see other people's points of view without making them wrong, what happens is synchronicities and coincidences become commonplace. You think of things and they begin to happen. Now, you're still having to, put in and have physical action, but things will kind of just start to show up. The right people, the right place, the right time, they just show up. If we advance a little bit more, we move into something called the fifth dimension. And in that fifth dimension, this is the dimension where you think of things and they happen instantly. In order to kind of enter this realm, you have to have let go of all your secrets. You have to let go of all your judgments. You have to actually feel love for everybody and everything without an attachment to outcome. For no reason. For no bloody reason on either side. And with this, what happens is time starts to operate a little differently. And what you think about starts to happen. Now, I'm like instantly, like now. And now it sounds really great. When I first heard about the fifth dimension, I was like, oh my God, that's for me. I like it. I'd like some of that, because if you think it, right, it's going to happen. Well, this dimension requires that you have mastered your emotions. Ask yourself the question, would you like to be standing next to you in the fifth dimension? Do you get angry? Do you get jealous? Do you get resentful? Whatever, because it's like instantaneous karma. You think it happens. And I got my lessons, kind of what I wouldn't call them that hard, but certainly got thrown in my face, that hey, Bill, you're not 100% ready, because, if I, for example, get, upset and I walk by the TV, there's an $800 TV, just, oh man, I got to go buy it. Dang, it's like, Bill, not good, or my wife is very funny because she had these Tiffany vases that she really loved. And I would be like, I don't like clutter, so, I'd like, oh, I hate the clutter. And then, I walk by, I didn't touch anything, but it just, it was a little less clutter, but I'm not very popular. So anyway, this is how it works. And it's something that's accessible to all of us. It's nothing about me. All we're doing is these dimensions exist naturally. So all we're doing is we are, with Cognomovement, utilizing the system to clear out those things that are blocking us. And with that, you'll go through these stages. And it's very simple. And Cognomovement is something that is super effective. So you don't have to spend, 25 years in a cave. You can just literally just have it clear out of your system. So I don't feel it anymore. I like to say the easiest person in the world to forgive is somebody that you literally don't feel anything about. I know they did that, but whatever, I don't feel anything. Forgive you? Yeah, easy, right? So imagine you could walk through and all of those resentments, and by the way, those resentments are keeping you from the fifth dimension. They're keeping you, in the lower third, maybe the lower fourth, but you can do something about it. And here's the weird thing. With Cognomovement, you simply allow yourself to feel it. You don't have to fight it. Like, wait a second, I don't want to forgive them. You don't understand, Bill. You know what they did? Ha 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 ha. Allow yourself to feel it and do the movements. Resent the hell out of them. And what'll happen is it moves through your body physically where it was stuck, and it moves out the sensation. We're not trying to forgive. We're trying to resent. I know that sounds backwards, right? But I'm trying to have the person hold on to the resentment while doing the exercise.
And this is where the keys to the kingdom lie, is the willingness and the ability to let your body tell the truth about how you really feel. One of the big problems that happens when we get into the, spiritual or self-help space is we say we shouldn't be resentful. We shouldn't hate the guts of our neighbor whose dog keeps crapping on our lawn. And then we try to push these feelings away. That's not what Bill's talking about. We're talking about being in control of your emotions. We're talking about the ability to really stay in it. Let your body tell the truth. I'm freaking annoyed with that person. I really think someone else needs to apologize to me. I was talking to a person today who we were talking about this concept, and they said they did not want the resolution to their problem unless the other person was willing to apologize and admit they were wrong. Even if I could offer them full freedom from the whole situation, they didn't want it unless they could get, this thing. So here's the thing. We're talking about the keys to the kingdom. You've got to be willing to go, okay, here is how I really, truly feel about this. And then be willing to just hold yourself in it long enough to get through a Cognomovement session, which is what we're going to do today. So at the end of the class, please stand by. Want to make sure you know that there is a very, very, very special class coming up, something we do very rarely that you're going to want to know about. And it's all in preparation for what's going to happen at the end of this first quarter, which is Cogno Conscious. This is what we're talking about, the big daddy of consciousness upgrades. But there's some things to do to get there. And so stand by at the end. Lee is going to tell you about how to take that little first step, the first bite. But all through this month, we're going to be heading in that direction. And this little Cogno Hour, this is the first one. So what do we want people to do, Bill? We want them to think about the thing they really want to get done this year. But they're, maybe it's not a goal. Maybe it's just something you really would like to achieve. And tell the truth about how you feel about it to yourself. How do you feel about it? Is there a little resistance? Do you feel like, you're probably not likely going to do it? You've tried before. Are you like gung-ho for it? But maybe you're not exactly sure how to do it. So type in the chat just one word that represents the feeling about this thing that you'd like to have happen for you this year. And then what else, Bill? Does people need anything else for the session? The ball, get your Cogno ball out if you have it.
Okay.
Right.
Yes. So if you have your Cognomovement ball, let's you'll take out your Cognomovement ball. If you don't have your Cognomovement ball, what you'll do is we'll do a couple different things to help you out, because some of you don't have your basic training quite yet. So you have a pen, for example. We'll try to use a pen.
Can I answer a question real quick? Vic wanted to know, sometimes do you need to know what the emotion is telling you so you can learn the lesson? If you're new to Cognomovement, what will happen is it becomes very, very obvious during your session what that was about. And 9 out of 10 times you're like, oh my God, I had no idea. It's not what you think. And oftentimes there isn't a lesson. There's just a new perspective, something you hadn't thought of before, something you hadn't realized. And occasionally there's something that you're like, oh yeah, I got it. And there it is. But it doesn't have to take time for that to work through. Lots of times it's just super evident. You see it, you move on. All right, Bill. So we've got people saying relief, freedom. What else in here? Fear of overwhelm. They want to feel peaceful.
Okay, great. So today, what we're going to do is we're simply going to imagine that whatever it is that you want for 2023, try to narrow it down to one thing. If you make it a bunch of things, that neurologically, this is kind of a little bit of a overwhelm. So we want just one thing. Make a choice. So the first part of this is just make a choice.
So if it's something like peaceful, like Shelby, where do you want to feel peaceful specifically? So put yourself somewhere. Is it in your work? When you go to work, do you feel peaceful? Is it on the drive to work? Is it in your home? Peaceful can be just so too big. So where? Vic, where do you want to feel fearless? Is it riding a motorcycle through the Alps? Is it, when you wake up in the morning, you just are full of energy and fearless? So get specific. Where do you want to feel this? Mara, where do you want to be productive? Picture it. At work, is it with your kids? Is it in, are you writing a book? Like what specifically? You guys are doing great. All right, Bill, I think we're good to go.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do is simply, you're going to, for the people that have your Cognomovement ball, what you're going to do is you're going to put it about a hand's length away, and you're going to get the eyes to stretch, and you're going to, for the entire time together, you're going to allow yourself to feel as if this goal has been achieved. You're doing it. Now, during the process, there's going to be indicators that are going to show you that, okay, here's where the problem is. And what do I mean by that? It's going to be a location with your eyes. When we do this, we'll be doing an infinity, this technique, the infinity, like a figure 8 on its side. You'll follow the ball with your eyes. There'll be a place where it's like my eyes are fine, and then I'll get to a place where it's like, oh, they feel, that's very uncomfortable. The eyes feel dry. They feel like there's sandpaper in there. They feel like it's a stretch to look over here, or you may feel like a little blind spot, like I can't even see the darn ball. Okay. That's the area that neurologically is objecting. I say I want peace, but there's a problem with that, and you might see, that's the problem. It is, I feel like I have to give up my sovereignty in order to get peace or something, right? Whatever it might be, but there'll be something that will come, and with it, a resolution as well, something you hadn't considered yet. The problem and the solution are in the same place. So if you don't have your ball, you could just use a pen and follow the pen. As you do this, you're going to move very, very slowly. The more slow you move, the better. You'll be able to catch it. If you were to go like this, you're going to blow by the resistance. You're going to come right by it, and it'll be whoop. You wouldn't even know. But if you move extremely slowly, it'll be like, oh, there it is. So there will be multiple places that you may have resistance. You may want to keep a pad of paper, your phone, however you make notes, because you might get some realization along the way, and you might want to just jot down 1 or 2 words, like, Uncle George. Okay. All right. So close your eyes. Close your eyes. And you're going to relax and allow yourself to be in the place where this has happened. This is real. This is now. It's actually happened. Liz, can you spotlight me? So
You're full screen. Keep going. I'll get you spotlighted though.
Gotcha. Okay. Notice where you have a feeling in your body. Is there a place that you have a feeling in your body? As you are here, and this thing for 2023, this one thing has actually happened. Notice where that is. Notice the location. Notice the quality. Notice the intensity. And now very, very slowly, take your ball and begin the infinity. Begin the infinity. Slowly, as you're enjoying being there. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. And move the ball ever so slowly. If you keep the ball within a hand's length of the head, your arm won't fatigue. If you have it further away, it will. The goal is to get the eyes to their furthest most position. And when you find the place that there's resistance, stop there. Just stop. Is there anything for me right here? Is there anything of value? Is there anything? You may not see or know anything. You might. Relax. Just relax. Staying in the wonderful feeling of this has happened. When you find a place that has some resistance, you can actually grab the opposite ear and you pull it. You pull your ear forward and breathe through your nose. And you pull your ear forward all the way, flop it over. So you're crossing to the opposite side. So this hand is crossed to the opposite ear. And you keep your eyes in the position. What'll happen is the eyes will let go. That neurological connection will, either the pruning or making of a connection.
Bill, would you show a little demo with the ball for our new people and the ear so they can kind of see what that looks like together? I think it's a little hard to visualize.
Okay, so here's the infinity. We already know what the infinity, right? And then let's say that over here, right? My eyes, I feel something. What I'll do is I'll reach over, pull the ear forward. And maybe it'll take more than that, or maybe it'll just happen on the first one, but the eyes will release. You may also notice, maybe it's not a pull. Maybe it's the focus. I can't focus right here. Like the thing went fuzzy on me, blurry. It's the same thing neurologically. You'd simply, it's fuzzy. Stay in the feeling. Stay in the feeling of this manifestation has happened. And once it releases, then what you're going to do is continue on till you find the next place where you're like, oh, there it is. I'm blinking a lot right here. And then you move on. Relax. Be in the manifestation. Be in it. Looking for that place within the peripheral vision, that it's not, the eyes are blurred, they're pulling, they're not operating where it's really easy. Stay in what you want for 2023. Stay in the thing I want for 2023. If you found a place that the eyes are not quite there, then pull and breathe a few times and notice if it changes. Stay in that feeling that it happened. I'm enjoying my manifestation for 2023. Beautiful. Okay, put your ball down, close your eyes. Relax, close your eyes. 2023. Stay in the manifestation, but just relax your eyes. Turns out that these little breaks are really great for our neurology. Still enjoy your manifestation. Enjoying it. Good. Now, what you're going to do, I'm going to show you how to do this. You're going to keep your head straight and level, and you're going to move your eyes like this. They're going to be all the way across the floor, from all the way left to all the way right. And then you're going to move them a little higher, a little higher, a little higher. And this is like in very small amounts, a little higher, 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 and higher, all the way up. So you saw I was just back and forth, going higher and higher and higher. Now with this, you're going to pull your ears forward. You flop them over like that. So just hold your both ears forward and imagine you're enjoying the manifestation, enjoying it, and begin to move your eyes from left to right, all the way across the floor. And when you move them across, I want you to notice there's going to be a levels where this is super easy. And then there's going to be a level where it's super hard. Maybe not super hard, but there'll be resistance. You're like, why aren't my eyes moving over here? This area is kind of like there's rust in the chain right here. You know, it's a little bit harder to move. That is the area that there is some resistance or an objection from your neurology about what you want for 2023. That's the area that you're going to want to continue to work until the point that your eyeballs are like greased marbles. They're just like, oh my gosh, they're flowing so easy. Just notice. And it could be far over to one side, but not the other, or it could be through an entire left-right at a certain level. But just keep breathing. A little bit more aggressive breath through the nose when you hit the resistant point. When you get all the way to the top, go back to the bottom again. Feel it. Feel your manifestation. And now move very, very slowly up. All the way left, all the way right, moving higher and higher and higher. Notice if it's getting less resistance. And now stop. Close your eyes. Okay, great. Great. Close your eyes. Enjoy your manifestation for 2023. We put a tremendous pressure on the neurological circuits. So what we do is we just back off for a minute, still maintaining your manifestation for 2023. Just staying there. Your eyes are neutral. Your eyes are closed. Really relaxing. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, and now you're going to grab your Cognomovement ball again, and this will be the last one, and that is, I'm going to stand up. You don't have to, but I'm going to stand up. You'll have your Cognomovement ball, and you back in, enjoying your manifestation. Enjoy your manifestation. Notice that feeling in your body, wherever that is, and begin to move the ball from left to right, all the way left, all the way right, and say the color. Enjoy the manifestation and feel it in your body. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Move up to the belly button. Say the color. Enjoy it. Move up to your solar plexus. Enjoy your manifestation. And now at the chest level, enjoy it. And here at the throat level, enjoy. One more level up, eyeballs, enjoy. And over your head, enjoy. Beautiful. Now, breathe in. Okay, now I'm going to show you one last thing that I'm not supposed to, but Liz can't control me, so there you go. I'm way over here, Liz. You can't catch me.
He thinks because he's 14 hours away, I can't get to him, but I can. We just talked about it.
Okay. All right. So this is going to be super fun for you. Remember how I said, make a note of whatever was in your, like came up. Remember when you were doing the infinity? Anything that came up, like you were like, oh yeah, I want this for 2023. Did you see something? Matter of fact, why don't you put it in the chat? Did you notice something you were like that was contrary to your manifestation? So if you did, put yes in the chat, maybe even one word about what it is, or even just yes, but put it in the chat if you did find something that was in conflict with the manifestation. Was anything come to mind? I just need to know where we're at before okay. Okay, great. Yes, Annette, yes, somebody else.
Gail.
Okay. Oh, Gail. Okay, Gail. Yes. Okay. Great. Bridget. All right. Perfect. Bridget. Great. Yes. Just a thought. Okay. That's a lot of work. Okay. Went from 7 to 3. Yes. Vijaya. All right. Doubt. The doubt that you would get it. Okay. Perfect. Great. Okay. All right. So it sounds like everybody knows there's something in resistance, right? I'm not going to go into an awful lot of detail on this. I'll teach more about it later, but there is a interesting thing, and that is that you have around you your biofield. This biofield around you has that thing that's in resistance to your manifestation. When you think about this happening, right, which you did, there was something came up. If that was around you within an arm's length, where would it be? Where would be like your first thought of where it would be? That the first thing that comes to you. Open your hand up and simply come up underneath it, wherever you think that might have been. Just reach out. And when I say reach out, I mean this slowly. And see if you feel with your physical hand something that feels hot, cold, or thick, kind of like thick air jello. But if you come up underneath it, Do you feel like a weight, like there's nothing, and all of a sudden, whoop, there's like something that weighs something? That thing that is standing in the way of you and the manifestation has a dimension, it has a weight, and it has a density. Just reach out and feel. You can even reach with both your hands. If you flail or you reach everywhere, you're not going to get it. You just simply reach out very slowly, come up underneath it. And when you feel something, you can actually reach to the left of it and right of it, and you can actually feel it. Some people actually feel these little electrical charges, like a nano shock in the hand. It's very strange. Once you have felt it, do you feel something? I swear that there's like thick air there, like air jello. Go ahead and, if you felt something, heat, cold, a thickness there, a density, a little nanoshock, type in the chat if you felt it. Shelby, yes. Tersita, yes. Annette, yes. A buzzing in your hand, that is correct. Yes. Viscous, that's a good word. Thank you for that word. That describes nano shock waves. Okay, Vijaya. All right. Okay, great. You guys did great. Okay, so what we can do, a thickness. Okay, so what you do now is simply clap. You go right to that place where it was. You already saw it. You felt it right there. All your intention, I am done with this. I am done. Very, very clear. I'm done with this resistance. Whatever that thing is that's in my way, clap. Right there, right in the field. And aggressively. Aggressive, not like that. No, aggressive. Boom, 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 boom. I'm done. Okay. And then shake your hands out and feel that part of the field. Feel it now. Feel it now. Does it slowly reach out again? Does it feel like there's something there? Is there something there? And okay, Vijay, no, there's nothing there. Very good. Very good. If there's any little bit left, flap the last bit out. All right. And if it's gone, type in the chat, it's gone. If it's not, keep clapping it out. Gone, 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 gone. Okay, good, good. All right, great, great. Okay, gone, gone. Okay, that's wonderful. Okay, now, afterwards, little homework assignment. Think about who else, like mom, dad, brother, sister, somebody else that might be none too happy about you having your what you want in 2023. Now, what you do is just reach out. Where would that be? Reach out and clap that out as well. Start clearing your field. What you'll find is when you've done this process, there's a torus, an energy field that goes like this, like a big donut around you, and you'll free up the energy. I watch how many of you wake up in the morning and you're like, what are those cobwebs doing up there? Let's get rid of them. You'll be like the limitless person. We're able to start cleaning and doing things and what have you. Anyway, wonderful. Well done, everybody. You got a couple extra bonus rounds there. Liz is probably, you might see me with one less tooth next time. That's because Liz punched me straight up right in the mouth. And because
Wow. I
I'm
did
just,
not realize how violent I am.
yeah.
All right. So
I just fell down a flight of stairs.
yeah, that's all
Okay.
that happened. So we want to let Leah share with us the special thing we have coming up, the special class. And what else is on the way. So Leah, you ready for us?
Yeah, so we've got lots of stuff going on. You've probably seen in our emails that this is the first month of the consciousness quarter. We've got so many consciousness classes happening. But the very next one that's the most exciting is our very rare $97 class. It's the consciousness upgrade. The link is in the comments. That is going to be on January 12th. So that is, I'm sorry, January 19th. Today is January 12th. It's going to be January 12th. And you definitely don't want to miss that one. January 19th. Anyway, yeah, so that one's the next in the lineup of our consciousness classes, and that one's going to be really fun, and we're going to have a lot of cool announcements during that class as well, so you don't want to miss it. January 19th, everybody. The link's in the comments.
The $97 class is amazing. We don't do it very often. It's a 90-minute class, but it is a deep dive. Like, we get in and we just start the work. It is a really great kickoff for getting your goals set for the year, or, you know, that thing that you want to create, but clearing out the first few levels. And if you're considering coming to Cogno Conscious, this is the first step. You want to get in there and start getting your body prepared for the big daddy. If you're not, that's fine too. It's also one of the classes you can come to where you don't have to have our basic training. So you can just jump right in, try this thing on, get some major changes in 90 minutes, and then see what happens next. So anything else anybody needs to know about that, Leah? The link is in the comments, the $97 class. Make sure you come. We won't be doing it again very soon, but it's an amazing thing. Even if you've been with us a long time, these things are, we get in, hit hard, and create some real change. I think that's all we have for tonight. Bill McKenna, anything else?
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks,
you.
Bill. Great
Thanks for
session.
everybody for coming.
Good night, you guys. Let
Night.
us know what changes, what happens next. If miracles happen, it's mandatory reporting. Reach out to us at info@cognomovement.com if you've got any questions. We are here for you. See you all again really soon.
Bye.